Hey guys, so today we're going to focus on our close read in a longer passage. We've been doing close reads in our skills to help us really know how to read. And remember, we read over and over and over again. You've already listened to the entire story of Stone Girl, Bone Girl, and it's a long story. We focused on the first couple pages in our last lesson. And in this lesson, we're going to continue to focus on it because our goal is to be able to summarize, to know what the beginning of the story is, the middle, and the end. And the best way to do that is to know what the beginning, middle, end is. You've been doing that in the skills and circling it. The story is a little bit longer, so you can't really do that. But also it helps us to know the somebody, which is at the beginning, what they wanted. Every story has a problem. So somebody wanted, but there's a problem. So how do they fix the problem? And what do they do in the end? You've also seen that in your skills. So we're going to continue to put information in our brain so that we can be able to answer all those questions and to find them out. So we're going to continue to look at a close part of it, just a little part of it. And then afterwards, you're going to have a lot of activities you need to fill out. Remember to use complete sentences. Read it. Does it make sense once you write it down? You can use speech to text if that helps a little bit. But the goal is not to go fast. The goal is to grow your brain. That's the most important thing. So with those goals and being able to do a close read, we're going to ask ourselves questions, answer them, and just stop and think about it. And then you'll go on to the rest of this lesson. So let me share my screen with you. There we go. Okay. So whenever we have a picture, we always stop and look at the pictures because pictures actually help our brains grow. See Pepper and her dad. We see fossils. Remember the mountains that looked like chocolate? That's right there. We're not to the next page yet, so we don't look at that. So follow along with me. When they came to the place called Black Ben, Pepper reached into his pocket and, to Mary's surprise, took out his best steel hammer. He knelt beside a large rock of dried clay and began carefully tapping away. "What are you looking for?" asked Mary, dancing about on the sand. "Just be patient," laughed Pepper. He worked as carefully as if he were making a fine piece of furniture. Mary bent closer. There was something hidden there, right inside the rock. At last, Pepper pulled it free and handed the thing to Mary. It's treasure," she gasped. "It's what we call a snake stone," smiled Pepper. "Just a curiosity. A present for you, Mary girl." It was the most beautiful thing Mary had ever seen. Back in the workshop, Pepper polished the snake stone and hung it on a string for Mary, like a perfect necklace. So even though the author doesn't tell us, I think I can figure out from the story that she and her daddy really love each other. Because, not what's in my heart, because, sometimes kids and dads love each other. That's something my heart knows. But from what I can tell in the story, I can tell that Pepper and Mary love each other because he took her to find fossils and he made her a necklace. And I can tell that Mary really loves her daddy because it was a beautiful thing and she danced around on the sand. When we read, we're looking for answers in the text. Teachers, grown-ups, they don't really care what your heart thinks. They want to know what's in the story. So that's why we go back. Now, next one, you can see in this picture, she's in bed and she's still holding that curiosity. Let's see what happens. That night, Mary couldn't sleep. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's see. Her head swirled with thoughts like the twisting golden stone. The cliffs are full of treasure, she whispered over and over again. So I think she was excited. Have you ever been so excited you can't sleep? That's all you can think about. The cliffs are full of treasure. The cliffs are full of treasure. She's pretty excited about that one. So next picture. Ooh, we still see some more treasure, which they call curiosities, which are fossils. This was before they really even said, like, did you know people a long time ago didn't even know dinosaurs existed? They had to find the fossils and figure it out. And this was when they just began to start figuring out with the fossils. So we have two pictures. This picture, we see the fossils. You see the kids. They're not very nice. Let's see. From that day on, Mary spent every spare moment searching for the curiosities. So I can guess with a good guess that she really liked these curiosities. She had sharp eyes and found them everywhere, in every shape and size. Tiny, shiny ones, marble ones, as big as millstones. Millstones are like ginormous. And other straight as stone fingers, or delicate like plants. Think of a plant. Plants can die pretty easily. So delicate is you have to be careful. Pepper taught her their strange magical names. Thunderbolts, fairy hearts, crocodile's teeth, and devil's toenails. Disgusting. He let Mary have her own special drawer in the shop for her collection. But the other children laughed and teased when they saw Mary hunting near the cliffs. Someone made up a rhyme. Stone girl, bone girl, out on your own, girl. Until Mary ran crying to Pepper. I wonder why they were so mean to her. That's my question. And the story doesn't tell me why. It just tells me that they did it and they were so mean they made up a rhyme that hurt her feelings. So this is a thing that where my heart would tell me, like, why would kids be mean to other kids? Maybe she was different. Maybe they were jealous. Those are all maybes because it's my heart. And maybe you have some other ideas of why they could be so mean to her. I don't know. Ooh, I don't like this next picture. It's kind of like December. That's when I'm recording this. It's a dreary day, but they have lightning, so it's worse. Neat. Pepper's sitting on a chair, rocking chair, and has a blanket. When do we cuddle up with blankets? Think about that one. So I'm asking myself, why does he have a blanket on? It's always a good idea to ask yourself questions when you're reading, because if you can find the answers, it means you understand what you're reading. So let's see. That winter was the wettest and stormiest the town had known. Great waves smashed the little houses and the cliffs became softer and more dangerous still. So Mary stayed away. She must be a safe person. The cold, damp air made Pepper feel ill. He looked old and tired, and sometimes he coughed so loudly that Mary felt afraid. Okay, so that word ill. I think that blanket has something to do with the word ill, but I don't know what ill means. So I'm going to use some context clues. I'm going to look around the story to help me know the answer, not my heart, but what the story tells. So he looked old, so ill has something to do with old, and tired. That's another thing. And coughing. Coughing so loudly that Mary felt afraid. So that was a bad cough. So ill has being old, tired, and coughing. So I think that ill must mean sick, because grown-ups, when they get sick, they look really old. And when we're sick, we're always tired. And coughing is part of being sick too. So my prediction is that Pepper's not doing well. He's sick. So that's it. Do you see how slowly I read that? I stopped and I basically talked to myself and the story as I read it. It's always an important thing. This is how you become a stronger reader, understanding what you're doing. So don't rush. Do your best. Take your time and grow that beautiful brain. Show some perseverance. I'll see you later. Bye bye.